Well, it was an interesting kind of transition for me because we finished in the bubble in August 2020, and I had my contract in Switzerland, and I was going that was it. I spent the first 3 months 2019 in the minors. So at that point, I was already telling my agent, like, hey, I'm not going to go up and down in the minors for the next 2-3 years. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, get me a deal in Switzerland for next year, get it in place, and we're good. And then all of a sudden, I got called up January 1st, started playing really, really well again, January, February, March. And I'm like, okay, man, I might be back in the league now. I'm playing really well. Like, if COVID didn't happen, I probably would have re-signed in Montreal, played another year or two at least. But, it is what it is. But I finished in the bubble in 2020. I'm away from my family for almost 3.5 months. I just had new twins.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. And so Switzerland calls me. They're like, yeah, you got 7 days. You got to be here. And I'm like, oh, man, I knew I wasn't bringing my family at that point because during COVID, it was kind of weird. Like, I wasn't going to bring my whole family over there. There was issues like, are guys going to get paid? Are we going to go play half the season and not get paid? It was like, at that point in my life, financially, I didn't need the money. I didn't need to go do it. I wanted to play. But I decided against it. I was like, no, I can't come in 7 days. Got to go home. I want to be with my family for a couple weeks. They're like, hey, deal's off the table then. And I was like, okay, whatever. That's fine. And so I sat out, that fall. The season didn't start till January. So I missed a whole year. And I was like, I was like, am I retired? Am I not going to play? And I still had a little bit in the stomach. I was like, I want to go play a little bit. I was like, okay, so let's go try it out. And then I went to Sweden. I knew in my gut I was probably done, and I probably should have listened to myself. And I went there. I played 4 exhibition games, sprained my MCL. That's a story for another day too, where like I'm driving around Sweden trying to get my own x-rays and MRIs, and it was just a nightmare.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, it was like, well, okay, so I've never done it before. Like the worst injury I had in the NHL, like I broke my fingers. Maybe that, like I was fairly lucky to be as healthy as I was. And so I knew right away there was something going on with my knee. And I'm playing the shift, boom, something happens, and I'm okay. I can't move my leg. Like I know something's going on with my knee here. So I get on the bench and I'm telling the trainer, I was like, something's wrong with my knee. Like I got to get this checked out. It's like, okay, we'll go in the room. So we get in the room. The doctor, I've never met the doctor before, just exhibition and stuff, and started the season. He starts moving my leg around. Like I was like in excruciating pain. I was like, no, that doesn't feel. He's like, do you want to give it a try? And I was like, what do you mean give it a try? He said, well, do you want to go back out? I was like, no, I can't go back out. And then the GM comes down and they're talking in Swedish, and I could tell he's kind of looking at me like he thinks I'm faking or something. And then he asked me, do you want to give it a try? I was like, no, I don't want to give it a try. Like there's something wrong. Like this is either my ACL or my MCL has got something seriously going on here. And I was like, okay, then take your gear off. So I'm sitting there, the game finishes and everything. I was like asking the trainer, I was like, okay, like when are we getting this looked at? He said, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. So like I'm going home. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get an MRI or something, like used to the NHL lifestyle, Come back to the rink. I got my crutches right the next day, like getting in my car, I'm crutching back in. I'm like, so we getting this looked at? He's like, well, let me just feel around a little bit. So the trainer's moving it around again. And I'm like, this is excruciating. Like something's wrong here. Stop moving it. And he's like, wow, it feels all right. Do you want to try it in the gym? And I'm like, guys, something's wrong here. Like I'm not trying it. We're not like, you don't even know what's wrong. How are you going to rehab it? So I'm calling my agent. I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I got to get an MRI or something. So I asked the GM, I was like, are you not going to send me to the hospital, or like, what do I got to do? He's like, well, that's, it's not really what we do. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not? At this point, I'm like, man, should I just get on the plane and go home? Like, what am I doing?
They're supposed to have great healthcare over there.
The healthcare was great when I took myself. So, I'm asking guys around that league that I knew, and I ended up driving about an hour away to Malmo, and like a really good doctor there, and I saw him, and sure enough, yeah, sprained MCL. So then it just kind of got worse from there. Like nobody was rehabbing my knee. Nobody really knew what to do, how to rehab it, nothing. And I've never done it before, so I didn't really have any idea myself. So it came back way too quick. After like 2.5 weeks, I was skating. Still didn't feel great. It was like lagging. Like I couldn't really move. And I'm, in my head, I'm like, okay, it's probably all right. I got my brace, whatever. I played, maybe 4 or 5 shifts. I got caught. A guy came right through my knee again because I just got stuck and I couldn't move. And at that point, I knew I did it again. So this time they took it a little more serious. They called the ambulance. Like I'm in the ambulance going like 2 hours to this hospital. Saw the exact same doctor that I saw, and he's like,
you want to try it?
he was like, you clearly you did it again, or it just hasn't healed one bit. And it was like, yeah, no shit. So I was like, okay. I told the GM, I was like, I'm going to go home for a couple weeks here. I got to go see some real doctors that know what they're doing. I came home and saw the Jets doctor, Pete McDonald and stuff. And
same guy that did my wife's knee. He's great.
He's amazing. Yeah. He's great. Yeah. So at least I had an answer. Then I knew what was going on. And then at that point, I probably should have stayed home. I shouldn't even have went back. I ended up going back.
This is an Oskarshamn?
Yeah. I went back, played like maybe 10 more games and pulled the plug. I was like, heart wasn't in it. And I kind of knew that from the start. And it wasn't so much an ego thing. It was like I still wanted to play a little bit, but it was like, what am I doing? Like my family's not here. I was barely playing. Like I didn't feel healthy. I wasn't great. It was just a bad experience that way. And no disrespect to the Swedish league. I think it's a good league, but again, you're coming from the NHL. Anything's kind of a step down.
Hey, more hockey content. It might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?